Welcome back, everybody. Now, this is a very specific kind of internet nerdy story. Or to you, it might just seem like just another thing because you use Reddit all the time. But in case you haven't really been paying attention to a lot of the news, there's this whole idea that Russia hacked the election. What does that mean? They say that there's Russian meddling. They're trying to get in behind the scenes of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and this concerns Reddit, to try to game the system and put in messages that seem like they're just from regular run-of-the-mill internet users, but are actually like systematically developed messaging strategies to get America to tear itself apart. You might have heard a lot in the news about Facebook and Twitter, but Reddit is actually the #4 visited website in America. And it is also a social media platform. And there has been news that the head of it is going to be cooperating with any investigation done by the federal government. But when it comes down to it, Reddit has handed over absolutely no documents to the federal government. And it's an interesting thing that we'll talk about more. But first, thoughts, 5 words or less.
Show us the red receipts.
Reddit's not rushing to help.
What's next? Alexa has propaganda?
What's that, Jason? No, I don't.
That was great.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, does anyone
Care?
use Reddit? Do you care? Do you use Reddit?
I do.
I don't use Reddit. It seems like like a Pinterest type thing where you like see one thing, you click another thing, and then it like dives you deeper into the depths of the internet. And I'm scared.
It is the depths of the internet.
And I'm scared of that.
It sucks you in. I do use Reddit. And I have tried posting on there, and I always get shut down. I always get extremely downvoted. But I post articles that I find nice. Doesn't go over well.
It sounds like this is really hurting your feelings.
But what I'm saying is that I really like it. Is a very useful place to learn information. But the Reddit community is very insular, and they don't sort of mince their likes and dislikes and their comments if you are not in step with what they feel is the boundaries of their community. I have found. Yes. So it's interesting now because the CEO came out and issued this statement, and it was a pretty innocuous statement. It was really sort of. Not a lot of information was given in this statement, even though Reddit consistently asked the Daily Beast to please like refer to the statement, even though there's not that much in there. And even this statement, where there wasn't that much really said, got, I think at the time of when we're taping this, 5,000, potentially now more dislikes. So the Reddit community doesn't even like the fact that they're not even giving any documents over, and then the intelligence committee doesn't like that they're not giving. So no one's happy here, but nothing's happening.
I'd imagine Reddit doesn't want you to share anything.
Right.
Like Reddit is, as opposed to Facebook, where like Facebook goes to great lengths to make sure that it's you. We were talking, Brent brought this up. But Facebook makes sure it's you. Twitter, not so much, but still. Reddit, it's just like, it is probably of all the similar sites to it, it's the most mainstream of the chaos. Tumblr's more mainstream, but Tumblr has this issue too. So I think what happens with this is that the federal government goes, all right, we have to tackle this problem of Russian meddling. I know how to ask Facebook questions. I know how to ask Twitter questions. There's books about like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg. Like I know these people. Reddit, they go to it probably for the first time when they're doing their investigation, and it looks like Internet 101. Like if you go to the website, as opposed to like the app, which is, I prefer the app because it's just so much easier to navigate and cooler and more addictive. But you go to the website and you're like, are hackers behind this? Yeah. It's a bunch of hackers. It looks like the back end of a site, not the front facing.
Yeah, because it's like, what is a subreddit? Who are these moderators? How do you get on? And no one, and this is the other dorky thing when I joined Reddit that I didn't know about, is that nobody's name is actually their name. It's all, they all look like, I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd all be like, these are all bots, because the names are really
just random.
Yeah, they're just random names. I was the fucking,
I was the, make your name
the bleeping loser that wrote Grace Baldridge as my name for
but
Reddit.
Reddit's so like different that you could say like, oh no, that's someone pretending to be me. No one knows, but your secret's out now.
That's wait, back to me real quick. That is someone pretending to be me. If you find it, that's not my stuff.
Grace, I talk to our editors. They don't even watch the show to edit that stuff out. You have to go up to them and make sure they do that, and they won't. It's crazy when you see the Daily Beast did a bunch of articles on this. Well, here's one thing they say: the tactics of these Russian bots. The names of the accounts showed bizarre attempts at concocting slang terms. apparently in an effort to appear authentically African American, like Getta Blasta with A's instead of O's.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
amazing.
Hustle in a Trap was another one, and Swag in the Rain.
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's one thing I know about these two, swag in the rain. You guys
Get a
almost-
blaster.
Get a blast.
Yeah,
Bees in the trap.
So it's like, Evgeny, what the Americans say? Well, we will go rent New Jack City.
Right.
Let's
Minister
watch.
Society.
Put on some Boys to Men.
Yeah, that poetic justice with that Janet Jackson. Like, in Tupac. I can't even have a Russian accent. I suck.
That was French. I
Yeah,
liked it.
my
Just
dude, my
bad
accents
grace.
go from like Jamaican to British in like one quick swoop.
So good. The users uniformly pushed mostly relatable memes about being black in America. Then filtered in, I think they probably just went to like popular memes and reposted. The way that a lot of people on Twitter just say like truisms, like, you know, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And like it's studied that those accounts that only do that do very well because people like to feel good. So it's just like giving you that.
Right.
If you read self-help books, they're all like, look outside, the sky is blue, right? The grass is green, right? You start agreeing with them, and then they start giving their little
Take a look,
tailored
it's
message.
in a book. Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, exactly. And then it goes. Then they filtered in invitations to protests by IRA groups. And IRA is not the Irish Republican Army or an individual retirement account, but rather the Russian Russian government-backed agency, so they say, that's putting together all these troll farms. Then they send people to these groups like Blacktivist, which is one-sided in the article, along with conspiracy theories about Hillary Clinton. There was one that's like, reminder on the /the Donald subreddit saying, reminder that KKK leaders of California endorses Hillary Clinton. So they're like, you agree with them, you agree with them, you agree with them. And then they throw a curveball of like, Hillary Clinton's having sex with kids beneath a pizza parlor, which was literally one that went
Oh my
around.
God.
And somebody went to the pizza parlor in question with a gun to say, I'm here to break up the child sex ring. And then everyone was like, what basement? Like, there is no basement. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And they arrested him.
I just don't understand, like, are they having something to hide, or is it just Reddit is so deep that they need to like keep digging to find the actual, I don't even know.
I think what Brett and I were talking about this before we went to tape. I think it's sort of a combination of Reddit being, there's a reluctance on the side of Reddit, and then also that the Intel committee doesn't really know what to ask for.
That's what I think.
And so when you read it through, it's like, Reddit's refusing to give documents, but also like they're not really getting any specific direction on what they would like them to hand over, and specifically how they can identify if there was or what sort of Russian interference they experienced on their platform. And so without that direction, and honestly without the Intel committee sort of bolstering what they need with people that understand Reddit, what is Reddit supposed to do? The onus isn't really, I don't think it's on them. I think it's on the Intel committee being more knowledgeable about what they're targeting.
Yeah, and the official statement was, we have been cagey about it publicly, I know, from Reddit, which frustrates us as well. But it's an active investigation, and it's difficult to share specifics without undermining it. I know this isn't a satisfying answer, but I promise you this is something we are deeply focused on. They're just kind of doing it. But like, there's gonna be hearings, and then you saw, I don't know if you saw Donald Trump being like, we're gonna find out why people are shooting each other, so I'm gonna sit down with the video game manufacturers. There should be some kind of rating system for video games. It's like, there has been for 25 years. Anyways, that's all the time we have for this.